Eid Salah. And before that, they would eat something from dates, odd dates. And then they would go and wear their best clothes. And it's sunnah to take a bath as well in the morning, to be clean, fresh, to wear good clothes, to take your whole family, even the women in their menses, the whole family, to take them to the Eid Salah, yani to the Musalla. Even though the women in their menses, they don't pray, but they stay behind. They stay at the back. And they attend the Musalla area. So as you go in there, you say in the takbir. The takbir does not stop until you pray the Salah. Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah. Allahu Akbar, walillah alhamd. Then the Imam, he leads the prayer first. After Takbiratul Ihram, he says 7 takbirs. 7 takbirs in the first rak'ah. And after he comes back from sujood, after that takbir there, he says another 5. And then after the takbirat in the salah, then the Fatiha and then the surah. And thereafter, the Muslims, they say, Taqabbal Allahu minna wa minkum. As the Sahaba used to say, radiyallahu anhum, may Allah accept it from us and you. And they can say other du'as, Kul amantu bi khair, every year you're upon goodness. They can say Eid Mubarak. But to say Mabruk, no. Some people say Mabruk al-Eid. Mabruk in Arabic language actually means to go down. You're making dua against the person, not making it for the person. So, because in Arabic when you say Barak al-Jamal, means that the camel sat down, went down. So it's the Arabs actually, they have, unfortunately now a lot of them have said, no, they say Mabruk, but it's actually not correct to say Mabruk al-Eid, but to say Mubarak. The Eid Mubarak, that is what is correct from the Arabic language, yani from blessings. So that is the yani Salah. Then it is sunnah to listen to the khutbah. As for the khutbah itself, then there's difference of opinion. Is it 2 khutbahs or 1? Is it 2 or 1? Some scholars, the Jumhur, most of the scholars, they said that it is actually 2 khutbahs. But actually, they relied on a narration in Sunan Ibn Majah which is not sahih, which is da'if. And anyway, even though most of the scholars said that it is 2, how do the scholars understand the hadith in Bukhari that it is only 1? He didn't sit down. He prayed with 1 khutbah and he didn't sit down. How do they understand that? They say that, well, maybe the 2, which the scholars are saying, is referring to the second one for the women. Prophet ﷺ did 1 for the men, and then he went towards the women and he gave them also an exhortation. So that's how you can get out of the khilaf and just do 1 khutbah. And if the imam wishes, then he can specify yani, the women as well in a particular khutbah, or just make it 1 and that's it, and include the women in that 1. Include the women right at the end with some advice for the women, yani, and so on and so forth. So after that, also visiting relatives, visiting friends, and also bringing about surur, happiness into the children, happiness into the families, because we have 2 Eids, 2 great Eids in the Sharia of Islam. Anyone who adds to that is innovation. If somebody says Eid Mawlid al-Nabi, say bid'ah. Christmas, bid'ah of the Christians. We don't celebrate that. Easter, bid'ah. And even when you look at their celebrations and the innovative celebration, you can see that there's no basis in Islam for this. No basis. So alhamdulillah, we have 2 Eids. Let's make the most of it. Let's make the most of it in that which is halal, in that which is allowed. Without music, without eating and drinking that which is haram, but actually thanking Allah. Thanking Allah that alhamdulillah, we should not take for granted food and drink. Rather, we should be grateful to Allah this whole month. Alhamdulillah, may Allah accept. And make sure that you do your zakat al-fitr before you go and pray. That will be counted as zakat al-fitr, and it will aid you for if you made any mistakes in your Ramadan. And after the salah, zakat is not considered to be zakat al-fitr, considered to be only sadaqah. And this is only a short reminder for each other that we, inshallah, spend Eid in that which is pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Visiting relatives, Prophet said, Man wasalaha wasalahu Allah, wa man qata'aha qata'ahu Allah. Whoever keeps the ties, Allah also, wasalaha Allah, keeps it as well. Keeps the ties upon rahmah, upon mercy. But whoever cuts the ties, Allah cuts it off. And that means of blessings, that the blessing is not there. And that's why you see many problems nowadays. A brother doesn't speak to his sister, an aunt doesn't speak to the uncle, an uncle doesn't speak to his brother, and all this because shaitan caused enmity. But Eid should be a time where you do your best. Even if you can't see them, you at least make a phone call. At least make a phone call and say, Eid Mubarak, may Allah accept it from us and you. If you do that, Allah will have mercy on you and give you blessing. Because He said, Wasalah Allah. He will give you that blessing, inshallah, that mercy for you. Because you were the better of the two. You were the better of the two. And Prophet said that the best of them was he who starts with the salam. So if there's a problem with you and another person from your family or relative, the best of you is he who starts with the salam. So don't let shaitan hold you back. Do it for Allah's sake. And just say Assalamu alaikum to Allah. Now.
You know when you do the 7 takbeers and the 5 in the second?
Yeah.
Do you have to say it as well? Or do you just recite it Allahu Akbar?
Yes, you say it, but not too loud. The Imam says Allahu Akbar, and you also Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allah. Yeah, you say it as well, because you're in the salah. Even the other takbeers, as you're going down, as you're coming up, you say that, so it's the same.
So we raise our hands as well, because there are some brothers that don't.
Difference of opinion,
just so we can clear that up.
There's difference of opinion. You remember the issue? All I know is if the Imam follows, if he raises his hand, raise your hand, because جُعِلَ الْإِمَامُ لِيُتَمَّ بِهِ. The Imam has been put there to be followed. And in this case, if it's a matter where there's difference, inshallah, from what I know is you raise your hands. Because even in the janazah prayer, Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu used to raise his hand.